Nina Simone remains one of the most powerful and enigmatic figures in the history of music. With a voice that could move from tender whispers to fiery declarations, she combined classical training, jazz, blues, gospel, and folk into a sound that was entirely her own. More than just a singer and pianist, Simone was a fearless truth-teller who used her platform to confront racism, inequality, and injustice. Her story is not only about music, but also about the fight for dignity, freedom, and authenticity. Eunice Kathleen Wayman, later known to the world as Nina Simone, was born on February 21, 1933, in Tryon, North Carolina. From a young age, her prodigious talent at the piano was undeniable. She dreamed of becoming the first Black classical concert pianist, a goal she pursued with passion and dedication. Supported by her community, she trained rigorously in classical music, eventually earning a scholarship to study at Juilliard in New York. Despite her extraordinary ability, Simone faced systemic racism that prevented her from advancing in the classical world. Denied admission to the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, she redirected her talents toward popular performance, a twist of fate that would change music forever. In the 1950s, Simone began performing in clubs, adopting the stage name Nina Simone to disguise her identity from family members who might disapprove of her playing secular music. Her breakthrough came with her recording of I Loves You Porgy in 1958, which became a hit and introduced her to a wider audience. From the start, Simone's music was impossible to categorize. She blended classical piano with jazz improvisation, gospel passion, blues grit, and pop accessibility, creating a style that was as complex and multifaceted as her own identity. The 1960s saw Simone rise to prominence not only as an artist, but also as a powerful voice for the civil rights movement. Songs like Mississippi Goddamn, written in response to the murder of Medgar Evers and the bombing of a church in Birmingham that killed 4 Black girls, showcased her fearless commitment to justice. Unlike many of her contemporaries who avoided political controversy, Simone placed activism at the center of her artistry. Tracks such as To Be Young, Gifted and Black, Backlash Blues, and I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free became anthems of empowerment and resistance, cementing her role as the voice of a generation demanding change. Despite her immense influence, Simone's life was not without turmoil. She struggled with personal challenges, including financial difficulties, volatile relationships, and battles with mental health. Diagnosed later in life with bipolar disorder, her emotional intensity was both her gift and her burden, fueling performances that were raw, unpredictable, and deeply human. Simone's uncompromising personality often put her at odds with the music industry, but it also preserved her integrity as an artist who refused to conform. In the 1970s, disillusioned with America's racism and political climate, Simone lived in several countries, including Liberia, Switzerland, and France. While her commercial visibility fluctuated, her influence only deepened. Audiences around the world revered her as the High Priestess of Soul, a title that reflected both the spiritual depth of her music and her magnetic presence on stage. Her concerts were legendary, marked by fiery intensity, moments of tenderness, and an unfiltered honesty that left audiences spellbound. Simone's later years brought renewed recognition of her legacy. Her music was rediscovered by new generations through film soundtracks, documentaries, and covers by contemporary artists. She became an enduring symbol of resistance, artistry, and the fight for freedom. On April 21, 2003, Nina Simone passed away in Carry-Louet, France, but her voice continues to resonate around the world. Her songs remain part of the soundtrack of movements for justice, equality, and self-expression. Nina Simone's life was a journey of triumphs and struggles, brilliance and defiance. She never achieved her dream of being a classical pianist in the traditional sense, but she created something greater, a body of work that fused genres, challenged systems, and gave voice to the voiceless. Her artistry transcended entertainment, becoming a force for transformation and truth. Today, Nina Simone is remembered not only as one of the greatest musicians of the 20th century, but also as a fearless activist whose work continues to inspire. She was indeed the High Priestess of Soul, a woman who used her gifts to illuminate the beauty and the pain of the human condition.